Hello and welcome back. This is the second part of defining the tarot cards, and this is looking into the Major Arcana. And the Major Arcana is a little different than the minors. There's 22 cards, and they really don't have. It's hard to find a pattern of of some type of sequence to them. There's really not something that's really structured with these cards, but they're very important cards and they're very useful in a reading. And there's different ways you can get to memorize their order if you think that that's important. I don't really think it's important as long as you understand the meaning of each card. I think that's more important in the reading. But knowing that this is card number 7 or this is card number 18 or whatever is not really that important. It used to be considered that certain cards of the Major Arcana were more important than others. There were 6 of them. The Hierophant was one, the Wheel was another, the Devil, Judgment, the World, and the Fool. If these cards were laid next to other cards in a card reading, they were supposed to give the cards next to them, cards next near them, more importance in that reading. That really isn't used anymore today. But so there's different things you could do with these cards. The Major Arcana are considered to have deeper meanings than the minor. They're more about universal principles and metaphysical concepts and deeper meanings than everyday life, but they can be toned down to everyday life experiences to be helpful in your reading. One good way to learn the order of these cards, if you wanted to know the order, and I guess you could say it comes in handy, is there's 22 cards, and they're numbered 1 through 21, plus the 22nd card numbered 0. So it's really 0 through 21, not 1 through 22. But if you take the numbered cards, take the Fool out, that's number 0, and you just take the 21 cards after that and lay them out in 3 rows of 7 in order, 1 through 7, 8 through 14, 15 through 21, in 3 rows like that. If you could do that, you'll see, and if you could print out something where it has that on there, it makes it easier to memorize the order of these cards, if you think that that's something you want to do. But the 22 Major Arcana they're really looked at as special cards, something that has a little bit more deeper meaning to the reading when they're in place than the minors do. I don't know how true that really is, but they do have significant meaning in your reading, so you could use them however you want to. So again, we're going with keywords here on these cards, and I'm going to take them in order from 0 through 21, starting with the Fool card. Fool card's number 0. And Fool card I have here as believing is a keyword. And you can see that it veers off into other keywords. Blind trust, innocence, carefree, unrestricted, non-conforming, detached, uncaring, unpredictable. So there's all sorts of different ways you could look at the Fool as just being this shoot from the hip type of carefree situation with no regard to consequences of repercussions of anything you're doing. And that's pretty much how the Fool is seen. So when you have this card in there, it's like you have no restrictions on what you're doing. And it can be seen as something that's carefree and free. Just go what you want, or follow your gut on this. So believing is what I have here. Now, by the way, I wanted to mention that these main key words that I'm using at the top of the card on both of these videos that I'm doing, you could change these to something else. I actually have a quick reference list in my books showing the meanings of these cards, one-word meanings for each card. And as time goes on, what I've done is I've changed maybe a card here to another word, or a card there to another word. Right now I have the Fool as believing. Sometimes that can be seen as, believing can be seen as being naive. And so that's what I have for the Fool card right now. Believing. And if this card comes up in a reading, it means usually just carefree and not really knowing what you're doing, but just going with it. Next we have the Magician card, number 1. And unlike the Fool, the Magician is very well calculated. He knows exactly what he's doing. The Fool is unpredictable, but the Magician tells you exactly what he's going to do, and then he does it. He's very precise and very accurate on what he's doing, and very confident. So here I have awareness for the Magician. And you can see the words that come up for awareness after that. Mastership, empowering, convincing, the trickster, creative genius, articulate. There's a lot of different aspects to the Magician here. After that we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is mystery, the subconscious, secretive, hidden truths that need to be unveiled, mystical. It has to do with your premonitions and silence and things like this. So the Magician, the High Priestess is a mysterious card. By the way, the B and J on that card, if you have the 2 pillars on your deck, those are the pillars of Solomon, Boaz and Hashin, I think they were. Stand for duality. Or Ben and Jerry's ice cream, I'm not too sure. So the High Priestess is number 2. Next we have the Empress card. And the Empress is creativity. What's interesting with this is the way this worked out is she's the number 3 of the Major Arcana, and the number 3 of the Minor Arcana is also creativity. That was just coincidence with me, anyway, the way I read these cards. So Major Arcana number 3, the Empress, is all about creativity, nurturing, abundance, the mother, manifesting, harvest, plentiful, essence of life I have on here. So there's different types of creativity that could be seen with this card. When this card comes up in a reading, it's a time to, it shows an ability to go ahead and nurture things into realities here. After that we have the Emperor, number 4. And the Emperor I have leadership here. The Emperor has the ability to take ideas and manifest them into realities. And there's ambition, there's initiative, there's structured thinking here, systematic, highly skilled person, a clear vision. So this type, when this card comes up, you can see things can get done, or a need to get things done. That's the essence of the Emperor. After that we have the Hierophant, also known as the Pope. And here I have guidance. Initially, I had spiritual guidance, but I don't believe I liked just regular guidance. After a while, I just left it as guidance because sometimes the guidance you need isn't spiritual; it's other type of guidance, maybe professional guidance. But we have usually it's some type of structured, well-established essence that's coming into your life or needs to be there to move forward. Conformity, ritualistic, tradition, compliance, enlightened, community, something professional type of information or guidance that's needed to come into your realm to move forward. If this card came up, it might be something that would be helpful. It might be looked at as professional help if it came up in a reading. After that, we have the Lovers. What's interesting about the Lovers card is the Tarot Marseille is just the lover. It's singular, and that was before this deck came out. So the Lovers is usually considered choice. Here I have duality, and because now it's considered the Lovers, and here we have Adam and Eve on here, so the Garden of Eden. And duality works nice. So it's a team, a strong bond, cooperation, partnership, devotion, compromise, commitment, polarity, opposites, magnetism. These are attributes that can be helpful to finding answers in your reading with the Lovers card. Then the 7th card on the top row is the Chariot, number 7. And here I have execution. Moving forward with something, getting it going. Efficiency, victory, effortless work, achievement, very effective, very swift. This card usually is like there's no obstacles going to be in the way. Just go ahead and go with it. You're going to fly right through it. You have the situation well under control, and just it's the time to go. Or you need somebody to be that way to get things done. But these are the attributes of that card. And again, these branched out words that I have for all of these meanings can keep on branching out to other ones. You might find, obviously you will, you'll find other words that pretty much can be associated with all of these words that we're using on these videos for each card. So the next card is Strength card, number 8. Most decks will have it as number 8, Strength. Some decks will have it switched with Justice, number 11. So your deck might show Justice here. That's okay. If it does, still I would say look at your Strength card, which would be number 11 then on your deck. But most of them have it as number 8. This is something Waite did. He changed the numbering system on these two cards, Strength and Justice, for some reason. He doesn't really go into why he did that, but he did it. Here I have Mind and Body for Strength. And it's mind and body working together. Sometimes there could be conflicts with that, being able to tame the animal instincts in you, your desires. If you're going on a diet, you always want it's hard to stay with it sometime, or if you join a health club or some type of discipline needed, but you know it's good for you, and you know you should do it. Doing what's right and doing what you want to do, sometimes there can be conflicts with that. So having mind and body working together helps make things more useful in your life or more successful. Balanced desire, potential, awareness, inner strength, which is what it would be, an inner strength, free will, restraint, endurance, assurance, taming, discipline. These are attributes of the Strength card. Next we have the Hermit. Hermit stands for inner searching. Looking for answers that you usually, looking for answers within yourself, inner searching, you are a hermit because you can't take anybody with you to look inside yourself. You have to just do that yourself. That's called soul searching. And finding the answers, sometimes you need to do that. I've seen as somebody who's very has a lot of wisdom, very wise, very understanding, non-judgmental. Your higher self, spiritual realm, very focused on distracted. That's what we have for the Hermit. Next we have the Wheel. I like to think of this card as luck, but I have here Evolvement. And we evolve as we move forward, so things are getting better here. Things need to be evolved. Improvement, enrichment. Sometimes to move forward you have to reverse things. Evolution, evaluation, moving toward your hopes and dreams, opportunities, time to act, synchronized, calculated, prediction. So that's what we have here for the Wheel. Next we have Justice or Strength. Justice is number 11 here. And we have Truth. Now this truth is universal truths, but it could also be looked at as regular laws of our community or any type of truth. So considerations: rightful, lawful, fairness, equilibrium, balance, dignity, virtue. These are all things that can be associated with truth and the Truth card. Next we have the Hangman. Originally this was a uniformed soldier hanging like this from one foot. That was a sign of a traitor. That was how they hung a traitor. Wade has him more as an enlightened figure here. But either way, when you're the Hangman is seeing things it's from different views that other people don't see because of their situation. They're seeing a different viewpoint, and sometimes that could go against the grain with what everybody else is seeing, and that could be seen as a sacrifice. There's consequences, exposure, opposed thinking, unorthodox. And sometimes you could put you in limbo, and just be stagnant because of the resistance you're getting and what you're trying to do. Strong beliefs, though, and going against the grain with things is what the Hangman is. Next we have Death, number 13, and I have Transformation. The end of a cycle, start of another cycle, purification, harvest, cleansing, swept away, a beginning, a rebirth, a threshold is achieved. Seen as in the Death card. So the interesting thing about the Death card on the weight deck, you'll see underneath the Death there's a dead king laying there, and so even kings die. We also have a little child at Death's feet there in front of the horse, who's handing flowers to Death. And this is a very naive person. A little child doesn't know what death is, so he's too young to know. Just giving flowers to Death. And we have a young maiden there. She's accepting death. She's on her knees. She's in front of death, but she's facing away. She doesn't want to be there, but accepting it. And we also have a Pope standing right in front of the death, right in front of his horse. And he's the only one standing there. The others are kneeling or laying down. And he's sort of got his hands praying to death. And the reason the Pope is standing is because the title of Pope doesn't die. The person in that title does. But the Pope doesn't, but the title never dies. At least that's the way I was explained to me what that means. So death, transformation, changes. And the last card in the second row, number 14, is Temperance. This card throws a lot of people off because it doesn't really show much of any type of meaning. This person is just, this angel's pouring water from one urn to another. But angels inspire you. So I have inspiration. Having purpose, consciousness, accomplishment, protector, guardianship, honored, righteous, very centered, a worthy quest. These are things that can be seen with the Temperance card, number 14. And we go into the last row, number 15, the Devil. The Devil to me is, I have false truths here. You could look at it as false fears too. Procrastination. I don't believe there's a devil energy really. I think that's just a good sign of things that we can do that are faulty for ourselves. Insecurity, fear of success, closed-minded, denial, self-deception, half-truths, self-doubt, self-defeating. These are the things that I feel the Devil card represents. Next we have the Tower, number 16, disruption. I have for the Tower. You could also look at this as, well, we have rude awakenings, new obstacles, something in jeopardy, an abrupt change, initiation, a moment of truth, isolation, shattered, thin ice, penetrating, unexpected, exposure, precaution, time to be wary about things, delays. So these could be showing challenges coming up, obstacles that you have to watch for. Next we have the Star card, number 17. And Star card is direction. A need for showing a guidance, a trust in moving forward in some direction. A sign. Something's clarified. You have an itinerary now. And insight. Magnetism I have here. That could be something that's seen as seeing that there's the solar system works with gravity and magnetism and things like this. I could see that being in there. A signs, hope. If I follow this set star, well, I'll get there. So we have direction for the Star card. A need for direction or a sense of direction. Next we have the Moon, 18. Here I have mysterious paths. The moon, we have a trail going through there, a path between two towers. There's not a lot of light in this card because our path is not really that clear, but we know we're headed in the right direction. But things are hidden. There's intuition, it's mystery, reflection, the unknown. illusion, imagination, subconscious, reluctance. Sometimes we're reluctant to move forward when we don't really know for sure where we're headed. But there's discovery up ahead if we keep headed on this path. Dreamscapes. Sometimes we might have a feeling of being lost, or there's an illusion. So there's variables. Not much. There's things still to be seen and understood, and that'll come in time when you have this card. Next we have the Sun, number 19. I have nurturing. The Sun is a good place to be. There's solace there. There's light. There's expansion. It's vibrant. Brilliance. It's healing. A safe haven. New life. Renewal and warmth. These are some attributes the Sun card can be seen in your reading. So it's a nurturing card. It's a good place to be. Then we have Judgment, number 20. And Judgment is, I have new awarenesses, an awakening, new dimension, uplifting, evaluation, fully seen situation, the inevitable, summoned, a calling, elevation, resurrection, emerging, law. These are things that can be seen in the Judgment card. And lastly, we have the World, number 21. And here I have perfect balance. I used to have peace and harmony, but I have those in here anyway. But I had peace and harmony as my main keyword, but now I changed that to perfect balance. And you'll do that. You'll change them as you go along. You might fine-tune them here and there to different things. But none of these keywords are more important than others. They're just showing a variety of keywords, and some might fit better for your reading on one reading than others might fit better for another reading. So there's just ideas. A perfect balance, unity, acceptance, worldly success, happiness, journey's end, realization, creative energy, devotion, fulfillment, joyful. It's a nice place to be, the World card. So that's the 22 major arcana. And that's how they could be looked at for your readings. And I hope that's helpful to you. So I hope you like this, and we'll be talking soon. Bye. All of my books are available on Amazon. They're easy reads, they're fun to read, and they're very informative. They'll all teach you how to read tarot cards. And they all have information in them that you will not find in any other book. Some of it's so old that it's new again, and some of it is just groundbreaking new information. So I hope you like them, and keep throwing cards. Bye.